I know, you read the title, you're freaking out, I get it. There's no way in hell that you could possibly have nostalgia for Fortnite Season 3. This is the worst season in Fortnite history. It completely destroyed the meta, what Fortnite was, the nerfs were terrible, they made the sweats happy, the casuals had too much power, whatever. I'm here to tell you that in a year, I guarantee you're going to start seeing a bunch of posts about how much people miss Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 3. Now, why am I saying this? See, every person in the Fortnite community suffers from the same issue. When something originally comes out that we don't like, we will tear it apart and destroy it and talk about how bad something was. And because of our vitriol and our animosity towards the season, we really don't take the time to sit down and actually enjoy it. This is a problem that I had for quite some time. I look back at some of my most hated Fortnite seasons and wish that I could experience them again. I remember when Season X came out, I was getting burnt with Fortnite, I was getting tired of the game, just everything about Season X, the mechs, it was just annoying. When Fortnite Chapter 2 rolled around, my enthusiasm was peaked all over again. I was so excited to play the new chapter, and then it just dragged. Season 1 dragged and dragged and dragged. And to be fair, it was because nothing in the game really got updated for that first season of Chapter 2. However, in the months to follow, each season progressively got worse for me. I hated the Marvel season when it came out, and when Primal dropped, I completely quit Fortnite altogether. However, when I look back at those seasons, not only do I realize that they're not as bad as I initially thought, but I also wish I could go back and re-experience them all over again. Specifically with arguably one of the most hated Fortnite seasons of all time, Primal, I'm actually hoping that they bring it back for Fortnite Chapter 2 OG. I would love to re-experience that playstyle, that gameplay meta. I think I might have played that season for a total of 2 weeks. Now, taking what I said into consideration, I realize that what I experience is not necessarily what you will experience with Season 3. I understand that there are going to be some people that absolutely do hate this season forever. However, I also see a lot of people having nostalgia for other seasons that they hated as well, specifically when it comes to Chapter 4 and how much people talk crap about Chapter 4. All the love for it now is absolutely insane. You go on Twitter seeing people talk about how much they miss Mega or Wilds and how much they really just didn't appreciate the map at the time. And this is the ultimate failing of a lot of people in the Fortnite community, which is the nostalgia trap. And the funny thing is, it's a trap that people put themselves into. When you look back at old Fortnite seasons, you start to get nostalgia for how things once were, because at the time you didn't really realize how good you had it. There were a lot of things to appreciate from Fortnite back in the day. This is also why I think a lot of people get frustrated with my takes on current Fortnite seasons. They say I'll glaze Epic Games or Fortnite and that all I do is praise the billion-dollar company, what have you. What a lot of people don't realize is that because of my time as a content creator, but also just because of my time growing as a person, I've learned to appreciate things in a way that I couldn't before. Now, some of that is because I am a content creator and I do have the opportunities and privileges that I do, but the other part of that is also because I've grown to just accept and understand things on a different level. Getting upset about a free video game to the point where I'm just going to trash it all the time and talk about how bad it is doesn't really benefit me or anybody else. If there's something wrong, I will address what's wrong with it. I think that constructive criticism is good, where we analyze something and we talk about the issues that that thing has in a constructive way, where we say, hey, I don't like this because of X, Y, and Z, but this is how you could make it better. It requires a more thought out and nuanced take than just saying, well, this season's crap because I hate it. And when I look at Chapter 5 Season 3, I cannot in good conscience say that this season is trash. There are two things that I don't think people really take into consideration. The first of which is how much Epic Games has had to overcome over the last year. Think about it. They lost their chief creative officer, Donald Mustard, the guy that was in charge of their storyline, the one that was in charge of live events, the guy that really captivated and created the culture of Fortnite and what the game was, how the game felt. The guy that spearheaded the idea for the Battle Royale. So not only is that guy leaving, but you have to find a suitable replacement for him, which is going to take up a lot of time and resources. Not to mention they launched Creative 2.0 and had to work on all this metaverse stuff, which requires a lot of collaboration with other companies. And they have to do this all while maintaining their core brand, Fortnite, updating new seasons every 2 to 3 months and providing experiences that people can enjoy. Now, ever since Chapter 3 Season 4, it kind of felt like Epic Games was dropping the ball on us when it came to consistent updates or map changes or just giving us a lot of content for each season. But when you start looking at the bigger picture of all the things that they had to overcome within that time frame, and I completely forgot to mention the fact that they had all those different lawsuits that they were going through, it's really quite impressive that we got as much content as we did. You can talk about how much you hate the metaverse or how much you hate the direction that Fortnite's going, and it's their own fault for taking on so many projects and ruining the game and ruining the culture of their company, whatever. But that doesn't matter. The point is that the reason why we couldn't get so many things is because they were going through a lot of changes, some their fault and some were just things that naturally happen as a result of owning a company that large. Everyone likes to throw around the statement that Epic Games is a billion-dollar company without taking much thought into what it takes to run a company of that size. As a matter of fact, you could argue the more money that you have, the more struggles will come along with it. But listen, taking all of that into consideration, this leads me to my second point, which is what I don't think anyone wants to really acknowledge about Fortnite Season 3, and that is this season felt like a return to form. And what I mean by that is we have gotten the most updates this season than we have, I think, in any season probably since Chapter 3. The amount of content that was given to us is insane, and you might not like the way that it was packaged, or you might not like the season's theme, but in spite of that, we cannot argue that Epic Games knocked it out of the park when it came to updates and consistency. Once again, one of the biggest things we were all complaining about throughout Chapter 4 was how little it felt like we were getting updates, how infrequent updates felt, how we weren't getting live events anymore. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the first 2 seasons of Chapter 5, there was so much that was done right, and if you look at the trajectory of this chapter, every season has given us a little bit more. We're even getting live events back, and it may not be to the capacity that it was before, but it's still something. It's a lot more than what we were given in Chapter 4. But pushing the live events and your own personal feelings about this season aside, I want you to objectively, for a moment, look at all the content that was given to us. Fortnite Rec started off with an insane gameplay pattern. The cars were exciting, they were something we had never experienced before. There was a lot of customization that was available for them. We were given new medallions, a couple of new weapons, new POIs. Not to mention Nitro, the Doomfist. There was a lot of content to absorb on day 1 of this season. Then you've got all the crazy updates. Metallica adding new weapons and items, not to mention an entirely new game mode for Festival. You have the Magneto update, the Pirates of the Caribbean update, and God forbid I forget about Fortnite Reload, the biggest surprise that we've had to Fortnite in I don't know how long. We also had the Tesla Cybertruck bundle quest, which I feel like made up for all the summer rewards that we didn't get in the summer update. There was just so much content and so many free cosmetics given to people. Like, Epic Games gives a lot of stuff for absolutely free. And that's one of the biggest things that I have to keep reminding myself of from time to time when I get frustrated. It's like, Fortnite is a free video game. Like, we don't have to pay for anything in order to really experience what this game is. Now listen, you might not like the metaverse. You might not like some of these new game modes. You might not like the way that the events were packaged, but damn, they gave us so much content for a summer season. And it's a shame that more people aren't trying to take the time to enjoy it. One thing that I've been hearing a lot this season is that the player count proves how terrible it is. Although it may be true, and I'm not sure about the exact stats on this, so I could be totally wrong on this statement, but it could be the case that Fortnite player count numbers are a bit lower than they were last year. What people aren't recognizing is that we have far more experiences for people to enjoy that are going to spread the players thin. Last year, we primarily had BR and Creative. Now we've got both of those on top of Fortnite Reload, Fortnite Festival, Lego, and Rocket Racing. What I'm getting at is that even though BR has lower numbers, there's more things for people to do in the game, so that's going to spread the numbers thinner. It's not a fair equivalency to really compare the two because there's so much more to do now to distract players from actually playing the BR. And for the sake of Fortnite and the longevity of the game, I think that that's a good thing. This is the thing that I want the naysayers of this season to recognize. Even if you don't like the theme of this season or you don't like the way that it was executed, at least concede this point. If you still don't like Season 3, the good news is that you now know with certainty that Fortnite can create a banger season with consistent updates and simultaneously run the metaverse. All you have to hope for is that Fortnite just creates a season that you like or that suits your play style more. I don't think anybody really wants to live in a world where Fortnite is not experimenting with new ideas. If they just kept the same formula over and over and over again, this game would have died a long time ago and you'd be complaining about how much the game doesn't change. There's a point when you're a creator of any kind, whether you're a billion-dollar company or a YouTuber like me, where you realize you've got to experiment and branch out to do other things, and some people aren't going to like that, and that's okay. There's no possible way that you're going to be able to please everyone all of the time, but what you can do is try to uphold a certain level of integrity or a certain level of consistency with your product that you're producing for the people that love what you do, and your most hardcore fans are going to support you even through those lows. It's not realistic to expect Epic Games to create a banger season that you're going to love every single time. There's going to be some things that you don't enjoy as much. However, what I will say, and this is speaking from personal experience, is that there is fun to be had in any Fortnite season. I actually don't think that there has ever been a bad Fortnite season. I think there are some that are weaker than others for sure, but I don't think we've ever necessarily had a bad season. Conceptually, Epic always comes out with really good ideas. Execution-wise, it may not always land, but at least they tried. And at least we only have to have a season for about 2.5 to 3 months tops now. I have always found a way to have fun. At the beginning of the video, I told you that Primal was the season that made me quit Fortnite. But what I didn't tell you was that I actually came back to play it on the last day, and I had an absolute blast. Playing Primal that day made me regret not playing it for the full time that it was out, because there was so much cool stuff that was added to the game that I didn't even know about. And that's what I want to get across to you guys, is that sometimes Fortnite takes a while to build up momentum for a season or even for a chapter. And sometimes there's just going to be concepts that you don't enjoy, and that's okay. That's when you take a break, you go play something else. But if you are determined on playing Fortnite, even though you hate it, there is always going to be a way to find fun with the season, even if it means you're not playing the main BR. Fortnite has so many experiences now that there's always something for you to enjoy. There's always going to be something there that you can branch out and explore. For example, last year when Wilds came out, I took a break from BR because it was so boring to me, and I decided to put my hand in creative Fortnite. I decided to make creative Fortnite maps with a friend, and we put out a few maps last year, and I had a blast doing that. And listen, if you're one of these people that's determined on playing Fortnite, even though you hate the season, I guarantee you there's a way to have fun with it. Sometimes a change is as good as a rest. Maybe you need to take a break from BR and go play a different mode. Go play some Rocket Racing, go play some Lego. Just experience Fortnite in a different way. There's thousands of creative maps for you to check out, man. There's so much content for free at your fingertips. Ultimately, guys, I'm not saying that you have to love Fortnite Season 3. I'm not saying that it's necessarily the greatest season of all time. But if you just stop and take a second to look at the season for what it is, you drown out all the noise, get rid of everybody else's opinion, and just look at what Epic Games has given us, I guarantee you can find a way to really enjoy the season. And even if you don't, that's okay too. But guarantee you, this time next year, you'll probably end up missing Fortnite Season 3.